Yes, hello Lily, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly and loud. I mean, just say hi to the audience who are listening. We've got listeners from all over the world. We've got listeners from Jamaica. We've got listeners from America. We've got listeners from here in the UK. And we've got other listeners that tune in from Belize as well.
Thank you so much, Samson, for inviting me on Rewind One Radio. I'm
Thank you
Lily
for
Patrascu.
coming and accepting our interview, our request. And so you're here to tell us more about money matters, and we want to know how can we monetize our knowledge, how can we monetize things that we know. So you are the best person to ask.
Thank you, Samson. So my name is Lily Patrasco, and I'm a book publisher for aspiring luxury influencers, and I create books that transform the world. And one amazing way for you to monetize your knowledge is to turn your knowledge, expertise, and passions into a book that transforms the world. And from then on, to turn that into multiple streams of income.
That's interesting. I mean, for example, me, I'm an IT technician, and my knowledge is basically, I mean, I teach it. I also do a bit of online marketing. How can I then monetize this more, or and for me to have an added advantage and to create more wealth?
Okay, great. So let's say that you work in marketing, right? Now, there will be some expertise around marketing that you do. And maybe you are either specialized in particular stuff, like, for example, Facebook ads or Google ads or Instagram ads or a particular type of ads, or you have a more generic, field of expertise, right? So depending on that, you can decide, what is my ideal objective? And for example, if the ideal objective is to get clients that will pay you, let's say, a monthly retainer for you to do their Facebook ads, then, for example, you could do specifically a book about Facebook. Now, if your intention is to be paid like a monthly retainer as an agency to deliver multiple services, then maybe do a broad marketing book, and then inside it, talk about the different aspects of marketing, for example, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and all the other types of ads. And then through doing that, you brand yourself as an authority in that field. And then as you are going to different events, what happens is, for example, when you get published with my program, I have designed something really amazing for the authors, which is that you don't just publish the book and then you have it on Amazon and that's the end of it. No, what happens is you get invited to speak at multiple events. And all you need is the first opportunity where you speak in front of, let's say, 50, 20, I don't know, 100, hundreds of people. And what happens is that at that event, people who are entrepreneurs who need marketing services are going to think, wow, so Lily from Speakers Are Leaders and Brand for Speakers, she's endorsing this guy. That means he must be good. Therefore, they will start saying, well, every single person that I know, and I mean every person that I know that is an entrepreneur, has services and products and properties and things like that that they need promoting. Therefore, if you are working in marketing and sales, the likelihood of someone needing your services is like almost like 100%, right? Apart from the people that already have like a really good marketing and I would even say that even people that already have a marketing team, that already have everything set up, it doesn't hurt to have extra clients. Apart from, I guess, the very limited number of people that only want to work with, I don't know, 4 people a month or this kind of thing, that is a very exclusive sort of thing, which I have encountered in my building, but for the most part, people need marketing. Everybody needs marketing. So you speak one time in front of that crowd, and then you get invited to speak in front of many more crowds like that, either by me or by other people. Now, because I organize events, hundreds of events a year, and then because of that, I get invited to speak in so many different countries. Every single year, I get invited to speak in 10 more countries. And now I'm even being quiet because of, everything that's happening. But usually I would be like every month in a different country and invited in several more countries. And since March last year, we had a reach of 1 million people in Facebook. And I grew from 100 followers in January 2020 to now having 89,000 in Facebook and 12,000 in LinkedIn and 27,000 in Instagram. And now what I'm trying to say is that anything that you do or know can be turned, it can be monetized into multiple streams of income. And it all starts with a book or a course of some sort. And when you do write a book, what happens is that you have a personal transformation because you start to clarify and structure your knowledge. And you turn that, you can say in a way, chaos that you had before, bits of information that you had before into a very structured blueprint. Because in order to really teach someone else something, you have to know it really well yourself. You have to have it very, very well structured. And when you structure it, you understand it better. You're able to turn that into blueprints for your own team. You're able to turn that into blueprints for your own clients. And because of that, you become a better coach for your existing clients. And you also become a better coach for the people that you are going to teach. And through that, you're creating a transformation in the world, in yourself, and in the thousands, potentially millions of people worldwide as well.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, what I was thinking, in terms of, I'll give myself as an example. Um, I'm planning to write a book on I do a bit of programming, so I'm planning to do a Python is my main language that I'm going to, but I want to focus on something that is called pandas, and that's what I want. So how do I then, from that point of view, how do I start, and how do your services help me on that angle?
Okay, very good. So let's say you are going to write this book about Python language or Panda or whatever you want to call it, right? So you are the expert in that field. And now I recommend that you write that book only if your intention is to get business in that field. So for example, either you are planning to be hired as a programmer for those languages, or you plan to do a course around that. Because it's not just, yes, because the idea is not just to do a book. The idea is to do a book that will work for you in multiple areas. So what I mean by that is that a lot of people, for example, publish a book, for example, about their experience of abuse or their experience of whatever, and they don't consider that it can be monetized in so many different ways. So for you, let's say if your intention was to be hired for that as a programmer, then yeah, you can write, the Python language, programming book, and then always considering about, okay, can that be turned into a brand, right? So perhaps you could say, okay, am I thinking of what could this book turn into? Could it be a course for children? To teach them how to code? Could it be a course for adults to teach them how to get into IT and to teach them how to become programmers and to teach them how to, design the metaverse, or to design, games, or to design, specific things? So based on that, what we're going to do is look at, okay, what kind of really exciting name can we find that is an attractive name that could be turned into a brand? Okay, so could it be, Python, Python school, Python language. We have to keep looking for, I would have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what is the ultimate objective for this book. And then based on that, we could see, okay, where do we see the biggest money, the biggest money and the fastest path to the biggest cash. Okay. So we're looking at, okay, can this be a school? Can this be a course? Can this be a workshop? Can this be, a game? What are we really gonna use it for? And based on what is my ultimate objective for this book, that is how we're gonna create this luxury brand for the book. And this is what I can personally help, because what I'm good at is helping you to find Wally in a way. If you're familiar with the coloring book called Wally, it's basically like a coloring book where you have thousands of little people, and inside it, there is just one little guy with a stripy top, and his name is Wally. And you have to find him among these, thousands of people. And my job in a way is to help you find Wally. Now, what is Wally? It's almost like from all this, you can say, mountain of creativity, or this chaos of creativity that every single person has. My job is to find the right one that will work the best for you, so that you can be seen as a Lamborghini, as the top of the range, as the top of the range authority in your field. And so that you then can build a luxury brand that can be leveraged in multiple ways. And also when people meet you, you want them to think, wow, I have just met Samson. Oh my God, I have to take a picture with Samson because he's so amazing. And, he's as amazing as Oprah or as Tony Robbins or as, Les Brown, or he's as amazing as that. And he's Samson. Oh my God, I have to meet him. You want, and this is the thing that I'm really good at. Finding that gem, that diamond that is inside you, and then finding the exact sleek, attractive name for what you do in a way that people think, wow, I have to work with Samson. I have to work with this guy because he is absolutely out of this world amazing. And he has a luxury brand. And it's because of that, for example, I'm organizing an event on the 29th of April in London where I'm going to have celebrities. For example, Marie Diamond from the movie The Secret, viewed by 500 million people. And Alfie Best, he's property multimillionaire worth 750 million. And Malan Breton, fashion designer worth $100 million. Why do these people come to my event? It's because I look good. And I'm not talking, in a modest way. I mean, I look good online, okay? I look good online. My partner, Harry Sardinas, also looks good online. And it's my job to make every single author I work with and every single speaker I work with to be seen like the next Les Brown or Tony Robbins or, the equivalent of, but in your own authentic way. You want to be that kind of luxury brand, that icon that people respect and think, oh my God, I have to work with this guy. He's absolutely amazing. Or with this lady.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Okay, so you were talking about a lot of followers on your social media. So just to give us an idea on how can we then, as an individual, we can give an example about this radio station. So how can we then reach out to those kind of people so that they can also be part of the following crowd of the radio as an organization or as a person in actual fact? So
Okay,
how
so
did you do it?
is your question how you can increase your followers for your radio?
Yeah, that's the question. So how do we then increase our followers, and what is it that we need to do? And then how can then, if we've got those kind of followers, how do we monetize that as well?
Okay, very good question. So in your case, let's say if you wanted to increase the followers for your radio, I would do a book specifically related to empowering someone's voice. Now, the reason for that is because then you're not restricted necessarily just to the radio, because the thing is that you are going to be promoting people's voices. And this is a bigger market than just the radio, right? Of course, the radio is great. So you can do a book related to empowering your voice. And then on the back of that, you're promoting the radio, you're promoting potentially a podcast if you already have that. You're promoting also, if you're going to do video interviews with people, you're going to be promoting anything that's related to empowering someone's voice. Now, what would make sense to promote on the back of that is, okay, the book around empowering your voice. You can do training around empowering your voice and how it's important to vary your voice when you're on the radio, for example, or in any social media, because when you vary your voice, that is when you are interesting. And it's very important that you are interesting when you speak, because
That's
when
right.
you are boring, what happens is that people do not listen and they switch off And then do not be surprised that you may have the most exciting information in the world. If you are not going to accentuate it in an interesting way, people will simply switch off, and you are missing out on thousands and millions of people who could potentially hear that message, transform their lives, and help you to monetize your knowledge in the process as well. Right? So training courses around empowering your voice, training courses around, let's say, if you were to also teach them how to do a podcast, again, training courses around that. You can do workshops and retreats around empowering your voice, because people have a deep fear of public speaking. And, fear of public speaking on video is bigger than a fear of public speaking on the radio, but it's still fear of public speaking. And then you can also expand it to the stage or things like that. But if you were to even teach people how to speak confidently, in a charismatic way, and also to vary their voice, that could take quite a long time, because people, especially, people that have been used to speaking in a very, straight kind of voice and, without accentuating any single word, they will take a really, really long time to change that. Also, for example, there are some techniques like every time you mention something very important. For example, let's say my mission is to empower 100 million people to be happier, to go after what they want, to share their stories, and to create wealth through books and online courses that transform the world. What you may have noticed there is that when I said 100 million people, what I did is that I slowed down a little bit. And the reason for that is because you want to accentuate certain areas of what you're saying so that people remember exactly that. So for example, if you're going to mention what you do, you're going to say, for example, I'm a book publisher. I create books that transform the world. Now, had I said that in a fast way, in a way that is boring, then people will switch off and they will damage your followers as well for the radio. And that's why it's important to teach them how to do that.
That's interesting. And okay, I mean, just before we go on to some of the questions, I just wanted to know, how did you all start? I mean, what was your beginnings, and how did you end up in this position today?
Thank you for asking. Great question, Samson. I came to London with €100 in my pocket and 2 suitcases full of hopes and dreams. And for a long time, it really felt like it was my time now to enjoy life, to travel, to have fun. And I did that for 9 years. 9 years later, I felt like I was running out of time. It felt like I hadn't done anything in my life. I felt like a complete failure. I was lacking confidence. And I hadn't really worked in an office except for some very small, stints in an office for like a month or two. And I felt like I was falling behind, like I didn't know enough, like I was gonna, reach the end of my life and had done nothing. At 29 years old, I had this kind of midlife crisis, and I decided I'm going to publish my first book, which at the time was called Meet the Nanny, which I did publish, and I unpublished it recently. But what happened was that book enabled me to meet so many entrepreneurs, among which my partner, Harry Sardinas, and he gave me the opportunity to manage his property business, English school, and career advice part of the business. And through that, I helped more than 2,000 people to find accommodation and to learn enough English in 2 weeks as to get their first job. A lot of them didn't speak a single word of English, and I fixed their CVs for free, CVs and cover letter, and many of them found a job within 15 minutes and others within maximum a week or two. And that's because I'm so amazing at writing. And that's what I realized, is that, wow, I have a real talent here, because I can turn properties that were not looking so great into extraordinary properties. And through that, I managed to increase the price for every single room that we were renting by approximately 150 to 250 pounds per month, through doing small changes in that room by, painting it, adding a painting, a flower, small details. And I realized, wow, if I can do this for properties, why don't I do this for people? Because I'd been publishing books for myself and for my partner, Harry Sardinas, as well. And I thought, why don't I do that for other people? Because really property is not really my passion. So after, doing property and that for 5 years, I realized I'm going to become an international public speaker and I'm going to publish books for other people. And I've been doing that since, and I'm so excited to say that many of my clients have managed to achieve extraordinary results. For example, I had one lady from Nigeria who was suicidal, and she had 5 heart attacks, was in a coma for 2 months, overcame that coma. 2 months later, I published her book called Reinvent Yourself. And since then, she's spoken in front of more than 10,000 people worldwide, in India, in Dubai, in Miami, in London, at hundreds of events. She was given multiple awards. She has married because I invited her to speak in this speaking tour in Dubai, and she found her husband there from Nigeria, which is quite cool. I'm so excited. She's now looking 20 years younger, happier, and speaking around the world. And she has really found her passion and her calling and her mission.
Okay.
And like her, I've also helped one client who published a book about, I published his book about blockchain. And in the month of the launch, he sold 100K in healthcare products. He has another business related to healthcare, and he's been doing that since, every single month. And not only that, his book became a bestseller. And since then, he's also hired me to create a massive medical conference for him, which is going to happen at the end of September. So what's really amazing is that it's working out really well for both of us, because also I've managed to refer more than 45 people for his business in the last 4 months. And out of that, one of them was able to refer him to a company that was able to do the accreditation for all of his courses and all of his products. And can you imagine the power of getting all of your courses accredited?
This is really impressive. That's a good CV for you there, Lily. And I'm encouraged. So, how does somebody maybe wants your services? How do they get in touch, and how do they go about it?
You can go to hello@Lily.Global. Lily is written Lily. You can email me, and you can mention that you would like to have a 15 to 30-minute free consultation where we're going to talk about how you can find the right topic for yourself. Or you can go to www.Lily.Global. Again, Lily is written Lily. And I'm also on social media, Lily Patrascu. It's a bit hard to spell, so try with Lily.Global. It's a bit easier. And hope to see you, all of you listeners from around the world. And I'm so excited if you have a speaking opportunity for me. I'm so excited to take it. If you're anywhere, like in Jamaica or London, the UK, anywhere where you are, I will consider coming to your country to visit you and tell you more about how you too can monetize your knowledge, publish a book that transforms the world, or a course that transforms the world.
Okay, one more thing. How many books have you written so far?
About 20. And for other entrepreneurs, and I think about 6 for myself.
Okay.
And I have many more in the pipeline, and that are pending to be published. And I'm so excited because I'm planning to have my own show for Amazon or Netflix and a music video this year for all the authors.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see who's going to help me do that. I have many film producers and music producers that I've come to know recently. So we'll see who is going to help me do that. But I'm so excited to promote the authors worldwide and to expand their brand.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's great. That's about money matters. Like I said, I promised you that, yes, we've got somebody here who's got the expertise to make you money, to make things that you might seem that it's an everyday thing that you do. And maybe you've been doing for free, but now it is time for you to take up and to do some money or create money or wealth through it. You've had Lily there, and she's got so many ways. So she has helped many people do that. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with Lily, you've said that says Lily.Global.com. I'll ask her to say that one more time.
So it's www.lily.global. There's no .com, okay? So it's just www.lily.global, and Lily is written Lily.
Okay, so hear that. I mean, so if you want to get in touch, please feel free to get in touch with Lily. And I mean, I'm absolutely really interested in this and in writing a book. I have to think about which line should I go in next time, and then I'll probably approach Lily on this one. Yes, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the interview, and I mean, let this afternoon as well. We're going to have another interview. It's one of Lily's client as well. I mean, you can tell us a bit of more about this client of yours.
Yes, so I'm very excited to be working with Sanya Honsi. He is the founder of MediLives. And what's so amazing about him is that he's created a company that connects doctors with patients worldwide 24/7 through the mobile phone, and gives access to patients worldwide to get diagnosed for their health conditions. And actually, I've had a diagnosis today, and it's really amazing because how it works is basically he scans your body through basically like a video call, using quantum health. And what's amazing is that you can see on the screen exactly like which organ of your body is malfunctioning and how badly it is malfunctioning. And then the tool itself, the software itself, comes up with a diagnosis and says, okay, this is the remedy that you can take in order to solve this issue. So it's absolutely mind blowing. You have never seen this before. I can guarantee you this. And also he's created the Amazon of healthcare. So it's basically like a platform with so many healthcare products. And he's created this amazing business opportunity. So if you're a carer that is looking to come from Africa and to work in the UK as a carer, he has opportunities for that. If you're a healthcare professional, he's organizing, I'm organizing for him a massive healthcare conference for doctors, medical and healthcare professionals, and well-being and coaches. And if you're doing tech of any sort for medical purposes, do reach out to him, do reach out to me. And we're going to have 400 professionals in the medical or healthcare field coming over to London to attend this conference that we're organizing together. And he's a property multimillionaire as well. And he's been working with blockchain and cryptocurrency for a long time, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money as well. So I think he has a lot to share to your audience about how to monetize your knowledge and speak worldwide as well, which he has done for over 35 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. We'll be delighted to have him today. And I just want to say, hopefully we'll have to call upon you again, Lily, and to talk about these kind of topics and more things, and maybe writing a book about things that we do in our lives. So the show that you're currently listening to is called Money Matters. So whatever whether you're a Christian, whether you're an ordinary individual, money matters. Money makes sense. Money should make sense to you. So no matter what you do. So we are predominantly a Christian radio station. We play Christian music, but we believe that wherever money matters, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are or where you're coming from, but money affects us every day of our lives.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I think money is important. Being Christian is important, and having good values. And when you meet both, well, you have heaven on earth.
That's right. I mean, yeah, we should live life to the full while we're still here on earth. So heaven comes down. So the kingdom of God come down here. So Money Matters is the program that you're currently listening. And we've been having Lily as our host, our guest today. And we want to thank you for coming along, and hopefully next time we'll have time for the listeners to phone in to ask questions. And so we are still extending an invitation for you to come on the radio, and this time we'll have the listeners also phoning in to ask some questions.
Thank you so much, Samson. Thank you so much, Rewind One Radio.